Welcome back, dear viewers. You're still watching The Breakfast Show live on Nile TV International. It's now time for a second and final topic of discussion for today. And we're going to be talking, of course, about the rituals and traditions of Ramadan here in Egypt back in the days. And to shed more light on this topic, we're most delighted to be joined over the phone by Mr. Yehia Abdul, a tourism expert. A very good morning, Mr. Yehia.
Morning, Mr. Kareem. How are you?
All good. Thank you so much for joining us. Mr. Yehia, well, first of all, if you can walk us through the traditions and rituals of the marking the holy month of Ramadan in Egypt back in the days.
Well, actually, alhamdulillah, that we are fasting now during the generous month of Ramadan. You know, like it became an elaborate, colorful, and diverse month since the foundation of the Fatimid dynasty in the 10th century. Religious events since that time have been elaborate, and there was like a series of festivals, celebrations, and ceremonies to celebrate every religious event to do with the people of Egypt. And starting from the first phase, for example, in Ramadan, was like the celebration for spotting the crescent, which is Ru'ya. And there was held a festival for like 1 week, you know, like, and it's going to be a parade by the clergy of Azhar and all the artisans of the country and the craftsmen. They will be parading through the streets of Cairo by the time, to the new capital. And then there was Dar al-Futra, which is designed, you know, like to create catering, you know, like public catering and giveaway by the Khalifa Fatimid by the time. There was free meals for the poor, and there was sophisticated banquets for the ruling clergy throughout the time. And all the celebrations by the time was very festive, and as we receive it from travelers and, you know, like travel writers and crowds by the time coming to Egypt, they write how Ramadan in Cairo and Egypt was very festival month, and lots of joy and blessings, and the mosques will be praying all evening, and then they will have the support, and that will go for a whole month until the event of the Eid, where the Dar al-Futra will be making cakes for the whole country, as I said, on the level 3 to the 4, and then to the clerks and administration of the Fatimid dynasty, and then to the ruling class itself. And they used to even like to do like some pleasant, you know, like gifts, like inserting gold coins and dinars, you know, like in the cakes, like, and then we have the words like stuff like kol washkur, started by the time, and many foreign travelers and writers, they love to come to Egypt during that month of time, and write and take even like the paintings, colorful paintings about the celebration of the locals and the royal Fatimid dynasty by the time.
Also, Mr. Yehia, you have mentioned that it dates back to the Fatimids era. How has the traditions and the rituals of marking the holy month of Ramadan evolved throughout the years?
Well, since the time, you know, like, but what the Fatimids, they used to mark, you know, like their dynasties with, you know, like getting, you know, like the public to be associated with them and, you know, like supporting them, because, you know, like Egypt was a Sunni country by the time, by and since the Fatimids turned to be, you know, like belong to the Fatimid sect. So that was like food and festivals and celebrations was one of the ways to give them support, you know, like and livelihood in the ruling time. But since the time the Ayyubiyyad, you know, like dynasty came, and, you know, like through the 13th, 14th centuries and the Mamluks, there was lots of celebrations held, and especially for Ramadan and for the Hajj. So it was so colorful and extensive, as we see some of the paintings and the writings of scholars and travelers, you know, like through this time. And then we by the early of the 20th century, we have still pictures and demonstrations of how like the people of Egypt will go like on the Muqattam mountain to spot the Hilal, the crescent, with the announcement of the passing month, and there will be celebration. And we remember how we saw the decorations, like covering all of Egypt, and people inviting each other. And recently, we're starting having like Mawad al-Rahman, like for the needy, and it was so popular. I remember working at the tourist council that many visitors coming to Egypt during this time, they would like to go and have dinner, free dinner, and we were so pleased, and we carried each other from Europe, all over the world to come throughout Ramadan and enjoy this blessed month with the Egyptians, with their songs and folklore and festive mood.
Mr. Yehia, what do you think also about speaking about the spirit of Ramadan and the usual traditions and rituals, what do you think about the return of the fire cannon once again that was halted since 1995, I think?
Well, really, this was a very pleasant surprise for us, because I remember even like as kids, all over Egypt, each city had its own cannon brigade, and I lived in Mansoura, and I remember going to close to Bahr Sarir, waiting, for the cannon, to be, fired, and then everybody would run home joyfully. Kids, and the families, now it's start time. So that was like one of the landmarks of Qal'at Salah ad-Din, the citadel of Salarin, where you have the cannon, and that was started like about 300 years ago, since Nabil era, and people start enjoying it. And then I lived in Bahrain, for example, and then I was having dinner one evening, it's start Ramadan, and I was watching, and there was a cannon near the castle, and when it started at brigade, they set it on. So even this tradition started accidentally in Egypt, and now it is prevalent in the all other and Muslim countries worldwide. So this is an Egyptian landmark that's prevailing now.
Yes. Mr. Yehia, as a tourism expert, what do you think for tourists from a foreign perspective? What is the most special ritual or tradition for Ramadan here in Egypt that makes it appealing for tourists to be part of this and to participate?
Well, actually, when I worked in Los Angeles, I had many visitors who would like to travel to Egypt, but they say, oh, Ramadan is coming in 2 or 3 months, and we plan not to travel to Egypt because we had a concept that everything is shut down in this time of the year. I mean, cafes, restaurants, shopping, museums, whatever. There is no life all day long until people have a star, and then they start enjoying life until suhoor, which is like until 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. But I corrected them. I told them this is going to be more convenient and more relaxing because it's accessible everywhere. You can go and you do your sightseeing, you do your night cruises, and then at the start time, you see the whole city and the whole country will come back to life after this fasting, break. So really they started coming and enjoying it, and as I said, they even were invited to have free dinner or iftar, at this Mawad al-Rahman that was covering all the streets of Cairo and Egypt. So it became a trend for visitors to come during Ramadan because they will have a convenient and relaxing tour during the day, and they will celebrate all night long with stars and go to the Hussein and Zainat and all the downtown classic Cairo district and enjoy the spirit and festivals of Ramadan. So really it's a big catch.
Yes.
And then Eid comes after that. So they like to come to Egypt to enjoy the celebrations of Eid, and many from the Arab countries they like as well to come to Egypt to enjoy the Eid, and sometimes in the summer the beaches and the movie theater and the entertainment that Egypt is proud of.
Yes, Mr. Yehia Abdul, tourism expert, thank you so much. We appreciate your insight and thank you so much for being with us on The Breakfast Show. And dear viewers, by this, we come to the end of today's episode of The Breakfast Show. Just a quick recap. We talked about marking Ramadan in Nigeria, and we also talked about the rituals and traditions of Ramadan here in Egypt since the old times. And dear viewers, you're in the company of myself, Karim Gamaluddin, and my colleague, Dina Hussein. Until we meet again, this is goodbye.